So peep this, right? So these people, all these people are like, they're sitting down in like a cathedral-esque building. They got like, colorful window panes and whatnot. Everybody got on like chains and grills and flies, glasses and shit. Everybody, draped up and dripped out and shit. But like everybody's like standing still, like idle, talking and shit and whatnot. And then they peep somebody coming in. Everybody's looking like, oh shit. They ain't scared of him. But like when they see him, they be like, hold on, all right, hold on. He's here. I didn't think he's gonna show up. I thought he's gonna be late. Somebody literally says that. And he's walking in, everybody, the camera pans out at the chains and shit. It's like glistening. Everybody got their mouths open and shit, like type shit. And he's walking. He got like 2 other people with him and shit. And then he gets up to the front of the the podium and whatnot. And everybody's looking. And you know how like when old people when they grunt when they sit down, when he sits down, he's like, oh, this polo on. And everybody's like, aye. What's good? What's popping? What's happening? It's been a little bit. And he proceeds to, talk about what the fuck he's talking about and shit. What's good? What's popping? What's happening? What is this? This is a hazy IPA, Indian Pale Ale, for those who don't know what that stands for. Lagunitas. 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 I'm gonna say Lagunitas. But nice presentation. If you don't like grapefruit, you ain't gonna like it, because that's what it tastes like. It tastes like a grapefruit. Grapefruit. What else? It's got a seltzer like middle taste, if that makes sense. So you taste the grapefruit going all the way in before you swallow. I mean, as you're swallowing, you'll feel that like that seltzer bubbly sensation, and then at the end, almost like a coffee, almost like a coffee, like a cappuccino or something. Yeah, it's not bad. What's the percentage on this? 9%. Okay, so like basically what's going on with this right here? All right. I ain't gonna get into the full details of, maybe I should. I don't know. Well, basically what's going on with this is I fractured and dislocated my ring finger and went to the hospital. I'll talk about the aftermath. Went to the hospital, and first night they had me stay overnight. I went in at 12. I left at 4 a.m. in the morning. They paid for my cab and whatnot. But in the midst of all of that, majority of my time was spent inside of the waiting room, just waiting for them to call my name and whatnot. I did not feel it. I didn't feel it at all. When I looked down, I got injured at work, pretty much. I got injured at the supermarket that I work at, the supermercado that I trabajador. Trabajando. And basically, they called my name back there, and they looked at it. They was like, okay, yeah, that's bad. They gave me an x-ray of my face because I had contusions, bruises and whatnot, but I didn't feel like that was worth mentioning because I couldn't see the bruises. I don't know how they saw that I had bruises, but they said contusions. I mean, I guess there were like darker areas that haven't like presented itself to, my physical, my actual skin and whatnot. I couldn't see it. I mean, I can feel it. I felt that more than I felt this, and this wasn't even hurting at all. It was just, when you touch it, it was okay. It hurt, Like, ah, that hurt. Ah, not like, ah, but like, I can feel that. Ah, I can feel that type shit. But anyway, they did an x-ray of my head, make sure I wasn't prone to having a stroke or it was a stroke? Yeah, stroke. And they also did an x-ray of this to, come to a conclusion of, okay, yeah, we need to inject it and then place it back inside because it was dislocated and fractured. My ring finger. It was fractured like up here and then it was dislocated from down here. So both in that exact same spot for some odd reason. So I should have showed a picture. Basically, this part right here was like huge. This part right here was huge, but I couldn't feel it. I guess the adrenaline from the aftermath of what happened and whatnot. And I mean, when I touched it, when I tried to, push it, because I didn't know what the hell was going on. I thought it was just a dislocation. I was trying to push it back in. If they pulled me back to the back whenever I was doing that, I was like, if you would have done that, it would have shattered it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with that. So that's why I didn't go about doing it. Because I mean, I'm a pussy when it comes to injuries and shit. Anyway, back to what was going on. They injected it with lidocaine, and did what they did to try to put it back in place. Put a split on it. And sent me on my way, pretty much. I went back to work, and I had another scheduled, visit to the doctors and whatnot, just so that I can, have a better scope of what was going on. I had physical therapy that I was scheduled for, and when I went to the physical therapist, like a few days later, they did another X-ray, and it was like, this is still dislocated. I don't know what the first person did. I don't know what the first hospital did for you, but it's still dislocated. And I'm like, what? And so they was like, we would have to actually do what we did again to try to put it back in place, because we're doing this x-ray and your finger is basically just like floating. It's not in place like it's supposed to be. And I don't know. And they were so baffled. They were sitting there like, how are you not feeling this at all? I'm like, I mean, when you touch it, now I can feel it now. After y'all, adjusted it and put it in the splint and did all this other shit and shit. Yeah, I definitely feel it now. And so, yeah, it was fucking painful. On a scale of 1 to 10, it wasn't tattoo pain yet, but it was definitely pain. It was about 4. It was about a 4 out of 10. I said 2 out of 10, and then once they got the results back saying that they had to do what they had to do again to put it back in place, as they were talking, I'm sitting there like, oh. I took my pen, I scratched off the 2, and I circled the 4 as they were speaking. Basically, so a few more days later, I go into the hospital. Again, I get admitted into the hospital. They get me into a room, and I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, shit, is what it is. What it is. They got to, do some extra work on it to make sure it stays intact. So I get my room and they're like, well, you have to strip down. I'm like, wait, what? Strip down and put down, the cloak, the scrubs, pretty much. Proper etiquette when it comes to doing surgery. So I'm okay. Yeah, now I'm doing surgery. Okay, I was like, all right, cool. So as I'm sitting down, they injected the what's that clear shit called? It's not antibiotics. The IVs. Just say IVs. The IVs. Once they injected the IVs, they were sitting there talking to me and were like, well, we're gonna give you a choice between 2 things. All right, so we're gonna take this needle, right? We're gonna inject you right here, and it's called a nerve block, pretty much. So what it essentially does is it's gonna numb my entire arm, and we're gonna go about doing what we need to do with your finger, because now we have to open up the finger and put in 2 pins so that it stays intact and then close your finger back up. And I'm like, dude, for a damn finger? All right, cool. And then they gave me the other option, was like, we put you to sleep and do the exact same thing. Either way, you're not going to be able to feel any of it. And I'm like, all right, cool. I was always, reluctant to being put to sleep and whatnot. I always want to be aware of what's going on, visually aware of what's going on with my body as they're, working on it and whatnot. So I'm like, just give me the nerve block. I was like, well, when they gave me the nerve block and I'm going in, it was like, they also put me to sleep. I was there like, do what? I get knocked out. I didn't realize I get knocked out. I didn't know that they knocked me out. But pretty much I get knocked out. I wake up 5 hours later. My mom was there too. And they're like, we're done with the procedure. I'm looking around like, what? 5 hours for a damn finger. Basically, they opened it up, stitched it up. They had to stitch it up and whatnot. And they put the pins inside. But it doesn't even look like a finger anymore. That's the baffling part about the entire thing. It doesn't even look like a finger anymore. This motherfucker look like a damn caterpillar with some damn tweezers, like some damn whiskers and shit going off. So basically, yeah, so like I'm out of commission. So in regards to how impaired I am though, I mean I can still hold a controller, but whenever I'm playing like fighting games and shit, I can't run and rush in, even though I needed to stop doing that anyway. I was trying to get off of, like, alleviate that issue anyway. In its entirety, I'm kind of forced to do that because whenever I do try to rush in, there is a little bit of a tick of a pain that occurs that, I mean, I don't want to deal with it. It's not like overbearingly bad, but it's just not something I want to just sit in as I'm trying to enjoy or quote unquote work and win the game and whatnot. It's a bit distracted. It's enough to distract me from what's going on. I can feel it. I can still play while it's going on, but it's just like I don't like that feeling. That, and then my middle finger, it kind of brushes up against it, and it's irritating. That's more irritating than the actual pain. That's more irritating. So I spread it, I guess. I move a little slower, but again, my play style, I was trying to slow down anyway, so that actually kind of made it beneficial. But other than that, it's almost as if nothing's happening. So I mean, I can still hold the controller and all this jazz. Whenever I'm producing, I can still use the mouse because I'm right-handed. So I mean, I can still use the mouse and whatnot. I'm not as quick and agile when it comes to using my keyboard, but I can still get the the point across. Yeah. So yeah, the physical therapist that I subscribed to, or they recommended to me and subscribed it to rather, they made me a new splint because there was a different splint where I couldn't even do that at all. Like my whole hand was wrapped up. I could see my index finger and my thumb, but that's about it. Everything else was just wrapped up. So this one's a little bit more agile. It was tailor-made to my situation, my hand and my situation. And all I got to do is keep it out of the heat because it will melt. It's prone to melt. So that's totally out of the issue. Totally out of the question because I mean it's cold out here, so I'm going to be sitting out here majority of the time anyway. So I just got to stay away from the heater. I just got to not. Whenever I do turn on the heat, or I am next to a heater or whatnot, just got to get away from there so there's not melting plastic into my shit. I can still shower. I take it off, or I put a plastic bag over it, like a damn tattoo, pretty much. Treat it like a tattoo. Now, in regard, like versus pain and whatnot. So I said this was a 4. I said it's not entirely tattoo pain yet, but whenever they were like maneuvering it, that was like, it's kind of close to tattoo pain. No, the first night I came back out of the surgery, yeah, that motherfucker was excruciating. That actually did hurt, because my arm was still numb at the time at which it happened, and it was starting to wear off whenever I got back and was able to sit down and shit. So everything just started rushing in at once. I guess it was the first acknowledged, like, okay, yeah, something's going on right here. I'm just gonna piss some blood right here, but something's going on right here. This motherfucker was painful as fuck. I give it an 8, but like tattoo pain, the only reason why I put tattoo pain over that still is because with tattoo pain, not only are you choosing to have that needle in you, you're wanting the tattoo to actually come out good. So you actually have to stay still if you want it to the needle not to break off, and you want it to actually like come out presentable, because that's why you got the tattoo. I didn't numb it. I didn't numb anything. I didn't numb anything when it came to my tattoo. I will say tattoo pain feels exactly like what you would like, exactly like what you would think it would feel like, and then it goes into a whole different plane of pain that you wouldn't even think it would exist until you experience it. It's like, what the fuck is this? And then you're sitting there like trying not to move the needle the entire time, and that's what makes it even worse, because you gotta focus and lock in so that the pain isn't moving your hand, which I didn't have a issue with. But what scared me was like, it got to a point where it was so excruciatingly like bad, it started to actually feel good. And I'm sitting there like, nigga, why does it start to feel good? Am I crazy for that? Maybe. But like, no alcohol, no nothing for the tattoo itself. Back to the injury, they only injected me with lidocaine, and then the nerve block that numbed my entire arm, and then I got put to sleep. So I didn't feel anything at all. It was so relaxing that I didn't realize I fell asleep. I don't remember the point in which I fell asleep. I remember the point in which they started working with me and shit, but they also put something over my face where it was like, we're gonna put you to sleep. I'm like, what? I was like, what are you talking about? And they started working on me. I didn't feel the part. I didn't even see that part where they started working on me. I'm like, I'm asleep. How the fuck am I asleep? I didn't dream or shit. It was almost instantaneous. When I woke up. I looked at the clock. I was like, it's 5 hours later. What the fuck was that? 5 in the afternoon. God damn. But yeah, after my arm started to like actually come back about, they did prescribe some as a hydrocodone or something. But again, medication and getting put to sleep and medication, I'm like almost it has to be it has to be necessary for the situation in order for it to happen. Like we have to put this in here and for me to agree with it. And yeah, once the pain started, once my sensation of feeling started rushing back in, my nerves started to wake up. Yeah, it was bad. I didn't take the pills. Again, that's what I was trying to get at. Point in proving, I didn't take the pills. I only took alcohol because that's the reason why I didn't want to take the pills, because I had the alcohol. I always have alcohol and shit, and I didn't want to get rid of the alcohol. I'm not an alcoholic, but I know what the healing benefits when it comes to. It started off as, apothecaries, whenever they would recommend, medicines and whatnot, alcohol started off as a medicine. It is a medicine. It has medicinal properties if you use it right. It's just so widespread and accessible nowadays that nobody views it as such. But whenever you have like sore throats, you could take Fireball, anything with cinnamon in it and shit. It's got cinnamon and shit. Yeah, it basically when the apothecaries and whatnot, the bars and whatnot, those were separate hospitals for some a period of time in Ireland and Scotland and all that jazz. The brewers, those they made those products, alcohol and shit. They brewed alcohol, and it just happens to have. God damn, this motherfucker's strong. Happens to have medicinal qualities to it. You just gotta use it right. Don't abuse the shit. It does have a, you get a buzz and whatnot. You still you get that buzz and whatnot, but it's cleaning. It's definitely cleaning something. It's alcohol. Like literally think of it as like rubber and alcohol and shit. But not that type of alcohol, but it's alcohol pretty much. Still brush your teeth and shit, but it does clean your mouth too. What else? Well, shit. I got a physical therapy November 10th. And I guess what they're going to do is, because the full extent of the injury is I can't make a fist anymore. Whenever I make a fist, this motherfucker stands up like that, and then the finger itself. Yesterday I wasn't able to do that. Now I can't, and actually it doesn't bend right here. I can move the finger. I can feel the finger. There isn't any like nerve damage or anything. I can move it like this, but it's like almost it's almost fucking parallel. It doesn't move whatsoever. It's like it moves like this, and I can barely do this now. So basically, what they instructed me to do on my own is try to make a fist every so often. I'm not going to show y'all what it looks like because the stitching on it might be still open. It's bad. Not gruesome, but bad. I might get flagged for it. I'm not going to show y'all. But what I will show y'all is me trying to make a fist to see if I can. It's like, hold on. That's basically what it does. Like, it sticks up like that. I can't. It's not that it's like the pain is so excruciating I can't do it. It's like I literally can't because there's about extra skin right there, and I guess my body is just trying to get used to having pins in there now. I got like 2 pins, but where the progress is I can wiggle up here now. I can do that shit now. What I'm afraid of is like I lose that opposableness of it, and I'm not able to work out and do push-ups and shit. That's what's really gonna hurt me. But somehow, some way, I'll find a way to adjust, I guess. Yeah. They just recommended that I clean this every so often with cold water. Try to keep it cold. And then, yeah. Whenever I bathe, again, I put a plastic bag on, but sometimes, well, more recently, whenever I try to moisturize my body, I do take it off so that I get it, some oxygen and whatnot, and go about doing what I do. Just gotta go slower with it. And that's about it. But yeah, it's under workers' comp, so I'm not coming out of pocket for a lot of shit. Majority of the shit. It happened while I was on the clock, and not necessarily something I wanted to sign up for. A customer assaulted me, pretty much. That's pretty much what's going on. Assaulted me, and yeah, I don't know if he got arrested. I don't know if he got caught. I don't know if he ran off. I haven't seen him since, but I don't even know his name. He just happened to be pissed off because I told him we had a bag policy, and that's all I'm gonna touch up on. Yeah, physical therapy. Shit that I don't want to do. Like in my head, I'm sitting there like, nigga, this is just a finger. This is a damn finger. But all the shit that they had to do to accommodate that damn finger, I'm like, dude, maybe it's just not, maybe this is a more serious problem than I expected it to be. If it isn't already something I'm already realizing, it's like, yeah, this is a bigger problem than I thought it was. It's like, nigga, all this for a damn finger? Shit. God damn. I was like, I didn't think I was like, I'll try my hardest next time to not get hurt. Cause I've been doing well so far. I was so far out of this. They were recommending some shit. They were recommending doctors whenever I got, signed into the portal to update my profile and whatnot. They were recommending doctors I ain't seen since high school, middle school type shit. I don't get hurt a lot. I don't get hurt a lot at all. Now I did go to the doctors when I was at college, but that was a entirely different hospital. That was an entirely different organization, agency, and whatnot. Norton's handling this. I forgot what's over in. I think the university itself had a hospital department or something, or doctor's department. I forgot. Medical department that I went to. It was for shit. Oh yeah, I went to the clinic, sex clinic. Shit, I forgot. Yeah, about that. Yeah, I subscribed over there. They knew who I was. But yeah, that I just gotta replace the sleeve that they gave me. They gave me another sleeve too. I try to get a festive color because it's autumn and whatnot. At first I couldn't put on clothes. Now I'm able to put on clothes. It's just an adjustment. It's something weird, but it's an adjustment. What's good? What's popping? What's happening? There's some people. There's quite a bit of people showed up in here. But other than that, shit. November 1st, don't forget to set your clocks back. What else? Been playing Battlefield. Been trying to find a damn good connection. I cannot get a damn good connection. But whenever I do happen to find a good signal, Battlefield is what I've been playing lately. I played some Overwatch not too long ago, though. And then I try to dabble into Tekken, but I can only do what I can because, again, connection problems. I'm having some connection problems. I'm only, majority of not all the time I'm playing is on Wi-Fi. And whenever I do find a wired spot, the wires don't work. So, there's that. What else? Oh, I put my damn bed up. I don't sleep over there no more. That's about it, to be honest. Shit. I felt like there was like a lot more I needed to touch up on. Well, yeah, I can't talk about that because they'll flag my shit. I was about to touch up on that damn shutdown, but not enough information for me to. Don't we gotta vote in a few days? What year is this? 2025. We do have to vote for something, but it's not the president. It's not the huge one. It's not the primary elections. This is something. So like if they wanted to get a bill passed, like we still got to vote for like Congress and whatnot, like our local elections and shit. But as far in regards to federal, it will be like if they needed help passing bills or some shit, that's what we are responsible for, I think. Don't quote me on that one though. Yeah, we're just picking judges and governors and whatnot. Senators maybe. Uh, yeah. Oh, I finished. I don't know why it took me so long to watch it, but I finished up to the point where they've stopped. I don't know if they're keep going, but I finished Squid Game. I like it. It's not bad. It's kind of dope, to be honest. I don't know what took me so long to watch it. It took me about 2 weeks to finish it. It took me about 2 weeks to start it and finish it. 3 weeks. About 3 weeks. Forgot about this damn injury. I kind of put a fork in a lot of shit. But yeah. It was only on season 3. I don't know if they get in another season. Again, I just started watching it. I don't know too much about the community. I've seen people dress up as them. Halfway remember the names, to be honest. I was more so intrigued by the topics and the games and the stories that they had to tell in the narrative. Pretty much is what I was more so driven by. Pretty dope how they did it. Pretty damn dope. I don't see how they. To be honest with, I don't see how they could make another season. They could, but it would be, yeah. I don't see how they could. It could be one of those shows. They'd make Asian shows tend to do that, but I mean, there's a reason for it, because when you actually dive in and watch it, it kind of makes sense for them not to make another one, because the story kind of ended. If they wanted to make some more money, they could, but they'll probably lose the essence of why they made the show to begin with. But, you know, they could be working on a season right now as we speak, and I just talk my shit right now. What else? I'm trying to think of another show to start watching. I finally finished Better Call Saul 2, but that was about a month ago. I started a boxing anime, but I might not finish that because it was a little bit too much of a. I don't like the dialogue. That dialogue is trash in that one. This was like an older show. It was like it's over. It gets to a point where it's like, yeah, y'all see here over examining and exaggerating like simple movements, and if y'all would have left it like maybe 2 lines or 3 lines, it would have been alright, but y'all put like a whole synopsis on boxing movements and subtle changes of shifts, and yeah, it's weird. It just gets to a point where it's like, yeah, kind of annoying. What else? Shit, fucking. I restarted Maji, one of the only animes I can watch in its native language, and I just watch the subtitles as they go past. I didn't finish the first time, but I got pretty damn far the first time, so I'll work on that. And then what else? What else is big right now? Halo reaching out to the Sony community. That's a huge shift in the damn gaming community, gaming industry. For them to directly make their games for the rival company. It's pretty damn bad. That's a bad reflection. I don't know how well it's gonna do, but for them to have done what it is that they did, it seems as if Sony was begging them to have Halo on there. So it could be a win disguised as a loss. because they also got they had Forza and Gears. It seemed as if Sony was begging for them exclusives to touch down on the Sony's like PlayStations and shit. It felt like they were like begging for those shits. It almost seems as if they were just like, here, nigga, damn, type shit. At least on Halo's part, Bungie and 343's part, it seems as if they were like, here, nigga, damn, shit. From what I've seen with the imageries and the gameplays and whatnot, I ain't seen no gameplay. I've seen some imagery. I've seen some screenshots and synopsises of the general essence of what it is that they're about to put over there, but it seems as if they were just like, here, nigga, damn, stop begging shit. Is it revolutionary? If I were like maybe still in high school, maybe, but now I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I'll acknowledge it. I'll acknowledge that that's definitely a huge ass change, but it's not like it's definitely a signal. It's definitely signaling something huger, or bigger, but I think we can manage. I don't know. Oh, no. Ah! Yeah, console wars. Yeah, that's something I grew out of rather quickly. It's a conversation piece when you're talking to people, you know, who also game. But outside of it, it's like, well, it does have an impact. It does have an impact, but does it have an impact on my well-being? Little to no impact in its direct sense, no. But yeah, speaking of Halo, I tried to start my I've already beat it on Legendary. I'm already one of those ones that, you know, I'm like in the top 5% when it comes to playing Halo. But I could probably reach a different height if I did the Mythic run too, where if you beat it on Legendary, but you also have to beat it on Legendary with all the skulls that you find within the campaign. All the additives and multipliers and scenarios that you have to abide by. They're pretty much rules. They add on different rules that would modify the game in its entirety. So basically, you got to play it again with all the skulls that you find on. And it appears when after you turn on all the skulls, it looks as if you're just playing. There's no heads up display. You can't see how much ammo you have, and then you have limited ammo, and then you only recharge your shield if you use the melee. And then the enemies themselves, they're of a higher rank, and then they throw more grenades, and then they talk more, and all this yada blah blah blah. You just gotta manage with that. The hardest thing to manage with is the heads up display being gone. You can't see your crosshairs, so you're not able to aim. So basically, you got to. It's an adjustment, but I'll think I'll be able. You won't be as quick to kill the people that you would normally be very, very quick to eliminate immediately. As now as you're doing some cartwheels to try to get rid of the weakest damn grunts and shit. And they're doing circles around you because they're killing you now. They're actually able to kill you now if you're not fast enough. Granted, Legendary difficulty is already hard as is. They're already doing that to begin with. If you slip just the ever so slightly, a grunt will kill you, yeah. But now they're just like they're literally doing cartwheels. Like they're moving around like damn fucking, not necessarily in its direct sense, but in your perspective where you're having to maneuver with all of those multipliers and modifiers and whatnot. Yeah, they seem as if you're playing damn fucking elites. And yeah. I'm still on the first mission. Me being me, I'm still on the damn first mission. And I'm thinking I'm on like maybe only the second checkpoint. And it took me a damn hour to get there. 30 minutes to get there. Shit. But yeah. In the midst of all of this, I am fiending for another tattoo. I want some damn tattoos. I want a little bit more tattoos, dude. My arm is back up to par. Do I want to blow my nose? Should I blow my nose? On live, should I show y'all that I have to also blow my nose? No, I'm not going to do that right now. It was already kind of nasty as is that I kind of did that in there and then threw the damn napkin. You already saw that shit. You already watched me be human, so I might as well go blow my nose. It's entertainment. Y'all like this shit. Y'all see a booger? Y'all see a snot? No? Okay. Alright. Now, I do have a trash bag over here, so. But yeah. Alright. And on that note, what's good? What's poppin'? What's happening? Who's all in here? Y'all can say hi, how you doing? Is that? Why does it look familiar? It do look familiar. Who's that? I don't know who that is. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Can I see what? Oh, it says user. Okay, no, I don't know who that is. All right. All right. Y'all can hit that live, like live for me. Yeah, y'all see that? It says Artie Marty Michael like this live. That's me. I'm gonna go ahead and like it like 5,000 times. All right. I'll catch y'all later.